Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're going to talk about the big event that's happened here Saturday, which is the shooting, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Look, I despise, I detest Donald Trump. I've wanted to kill him myself. However, assassination is not an answer to issues like this. But the man has made me so angry sometimes. I've dreamt of doing some deplorable things. But you have to keep in mind that's not the way we do these things. Does that change the fact that he is a liar and a con man? No. He still is. He always has been, and more than likely always will be. So, yeah. There are ways to go about this, but assassination, not one of them. And this young kid who made this attempt, his life is now snuffed out. It's something that should never have happened. Honestly, what we know, the guy has donated to Democratic groups, but later he registered as a Republican. So clearly, he doesn't know which way he really wants to turn. He wasn't anti-gun. He had a gun, I think they said it was a gun YouTuber shirt on. So he's very familiar with weapons, at least, somewhat. But he backed, apparently, the Second Amendment strongly and lots of other thoughts. But other than that, we know he was 20, so he hadn't graduated all that long ago. We know really nothing about the motive. There was nothing that's really been said. Let's dig into a couple of stories here, if I can hit the right button. Anyway, from the AP, authorities hunt for clues, but motive of man who tried to assassinate Trump remains elusive. Yeah, it honestly disgusts me that he tried to use this as a way to gain publicity. Fight! Fight! When his ear had been pierced by a bullet. You think a man would have humility? But clearly he has none. The 20-year-old man who tried to assassinate former President Donald Trump first came to law enforcement's attention at Saturday's rally when spectators noticed him acting strangely outside the campaign event. The tip sparked a frantic search, but officers were unable to find him before he managed to get on a roof, where he opened fire. In the wake of the shooting that killed one spectator, investigators were hunting for any clues about what may have drove Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, to carry out the shocking attack. The FBI said they were investigating it as a potential act of domestic terrorism, but the absence of a clear ideological motive by the man shot dead by the Secret Service led conspiracy theories to flourish. As I've said, there is no real idea as to what his actual motive was. But yeah. Who I feel really sorry for is the spectators. One's dead, and I believe there were a couple more that were injured, seriously injured. But yeah. And I've already heard right-wingers calling for violence. You want to think it is the left? It is your own words that are calling for the violence. The left didn't ask for violence. You have always spouted, "There's a civil war coming." I hear this shit all the goddamn time. There's a civil war coming. There's too many that want violence. And honestly, that's stupid. People like that are just as fucking responsible as anyone for the condition the country is in to where this happens. Look at yourselves in the mirror. You're not the lone victim. Many of you are responsible. I won't even deny myself. There are things I could have said responsible. I've had no love for Trump. But in the end, assassination is not an answer. But there's too many right-wingers who are unwilling to look themselves in the mirror and realize they're at fault too. I urge everyone, please don't make exceptions about his motives or his affiliations, President Biden said in remarks Sunday from the White House. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I've instructed that this investigation be thorough and swift. Yeah, I've already heard remarks of, "Oh, Biden did this. This was his. This was planned by Biden." If you've ever watched my videos, you know I am no fucking fan of Biden. But either he is a cognitive declining old fool, or he's this mental gymnast, hyper intelligence that makes these plans. Which goddamn one is it, stupid motherfuckers? Because it can't be both. It can't be both. But I hear it often from the same mouths. It's like, you stupid shits. It doesn't work like that. Oh my God. I'm so tired of the stupidity. The FBI said it believes Crooks, who had bomb-making materials in the car he drove to the rally, acted alone. Investigators have found no threatening comments on social media accounts or ideological positions that could help explain what led him to target Trump before Secret Service rushed the presumptive Republican presidential nominee off the stage, his face smeared with blood. Trump said on social media the upper part of his right ear was pierced in the shooting, but advisors said he was in great spirits ahead of his arrival Sunday in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. 2 spectators were critically injured, while a former fire chief from the area, Corey Comparatori, was killed. Pennsylvania's governor said Comparatori 50 died a hero by diving into his family to protect them. Absolutely. You know, he did probably what a lot of us would like to think we would do: protect our loved ones. So the man absolutely is a hero. He's a great person. You know, he shouldn't have died and 2 others shouldn't have been injured critically. They shouldn't have happened, but we don't know what caused it. But given the way these things go, the boy was probably a bit mentally unstable. And it kills me because often you hear Republicans decry shootings and say it's you know, mental illness. Perhaps actual mental illness money put into it could have helped this kid, because it seems he had mental illness because he didn't know which way he wanted to be as far as politically. Like I said, he had donated to Democratic causes, but he was a registered Republican. He was still young. Your brain is still in development at that point. It's the reason you can't rent a car until you're like 25 or so. Yeah. So honestly, in the end, there's probably a good chance this is mental illness. Republicans always cry mental illness when it comes to school shootings, but I have yet to see them put money forth for mental illness. Ever. At least on a national level. Maybe they have on a state level, but they sure as fuck haven't tried to do it on a national level. Which tells me they just use it as a talking point. Relatives of Crooks didn't respond to numerous messages from the Associated Press. His father, Matthew Crooks, told CNN late Saturday that he was trying to figure out what the hell is going on but wouldn't speak about his son until after he talked to law enforcement. An FBI official told reporters that Crook's family is cooperating with investigators. Several rally goers supported the local officers that Crooks was acting or reported to local officers that Crooks was acting suspiciously and pacing near the magnetometers, which is why he probably wasn't linked to having a gun if he did not pass them. According to a local enforcement official who spoke to the on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the investigation. Officers were then told Crooks was climbing a ladder. The official said officers searched for him but were unable to find him before he made it to the roof, the official added. So, yeah. So, we know he made it onto the roof of a building with a gun. Even rally goers said they spotted him up there. They tried to signal to security, hey, up there, up there. They said they saw him in a military crouch crawl and tried to point it out, but were unsuccessful. Yeah. Anyway, Butler County Sheriff Michael Sloop told the AP that a local officer climbed to the roof and encountered Crooks, who saw the officer and turned toward him just before the officer dropped down to safety. Sloop said the officer couldn't have wielded his gun under the circumstances. The officer retreated down the ladder and Crooks quickly took a shot toward Trump. And that's when Secret Service snipers shot him, according to two officers who spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity to discuss an ongoing investigation. The FBI official said Sunday that they were combing Crooks' background and social media activities while working to get access to his phone. The chatting app Discord, a social media platform popular with people playing online games, said Crooks appears to have an account but used it rarely and not in the last several months. There is no evidence he used his account to promote violence or discuss his political views, a Discord spokesperson said. So, it's almost as if he had social media, but he rarely ever used it. Have been what they said. They haven't found anything scouring his social media accounts and everything. Which kind of lays out a signal to me that the boy wasn't necessarily outroverted, I guess you would say. So you gotta wonder if this is something that's been festering inside him. that led them to this moment. And again, it plays into the um, mental illness hypothesis I kind of have. I could be completely wrong. I won't deny that. We don't know. Even the officials investigating things don't fully know. But clearly, something eh, something was going on with him. Either he was heavily introverted and struggling with it, thus not, speaking on social media, or I don't know. I just, I don't know. For me, though, like I said, everything seems to point in the direction of mental illness more than anything else. Crook's political leanings were not immediately clear. Records show Crooks was registered as a Republican voter in Pennsylvania, but federal campaign finance reports also show he gave $15 to a progressive political action committee in January of 2021, the day Biden was sworn into office. So again, we don't know. We really don't know. Honestly, at this point, there's no way actual fingers can be pointed. When you try to point fingers in situations like this with no evidence out there, it shows that you have an agenda. And the only thing right now that seems to click at all, as I've already said, is mental illness. Let's look at another story here. After the assassination attempt, this is from Reuters, the other was from AP. From Reuters, Trump and Biden seek calm and unity. Again, Biden ain't saying, damn, we missed, we needed to kill him. No, he's wanting calm unity. He says this should not happen in America. And that is the right thing to say. And how people can be like, oh, he wanted to kill Trump. Seriously? Seriously. Anyway, Trump arrived on Sunday in Milwaukee, where he will be formally nominated as the Republican presidential candidate later this week, after surviving an assassination attempt that has aggravated an already bitter U.S. political divide. President Biden, a Democrat, ordered a review of how a 20-year-old man with an AR-15 style rifle got close enough to shoot at Trump from a rooftop on Saturday. Trump, a former president, has lifelong protection from the U.S. Secret Service. Trump, 78, was holding a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a key state in the November 5th election, when shots rang out, hitting his right ear and leaving his face streaked with blood. His campaign said he was doing well. That reality is just setting in, Trump told the Washington Examiner on Sunday. I rarely look away from the crowd. Had I not done that in the moment, well, we would not be talking today, would we? Yeah. We're literally looking at maybe an inch in difference from being dead and being alive. This could have ended very differently. Yeah. It's even I joked a bit when it first happened because I didn't know they had already got the gunman. All I knew is they had shot at Trump. And basically, I posted a video on one of my social media. I said, probably a conservative trying to win the sympathy vote for Trump. Little did I know he's a registered Republican. I didn't even know that at the time. So, yeah. And probably should not have said that, but, you know, he and the people that support him have only engendered a further bitterness, a further bitter divide. Both sides eat into it almost. And it's made for a very angry and bitter America. And yeah, this shit needs to end. It really does. Like I said, there is even things I need to look in the mirror for, but right wingers need to look in the mirror. There's a number of left wingers need to look in the mirror. Talking heads, fucking hell, especially ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox News, Breitbart, OAN, Newsmax, HLN, The Blaze, what's that one? Daily Wire. All these news organizations that try to portray an agenda, they need to look at themselves in the mirror. They really do. Because probably more than anybody else, it is they who have helped spread this bile, this hatred, this evil. Ever since the end of the Fairness Doctrine, the Truman Fairness Doctrine, in which it says the media shall attempt to tell the truth in reporting at the best of their ability. that kept things stable. And even now, we look at the 50s and 60s as this great moment, 50s, 60s, 70s, as this great moment in news. In the 80s, Reagan's FCC, Federal Communications Commission, took it to court and kept breaking it apart piece by piece by piece. And it's the conditions we are in now, where there is a political agenda attached to our news. So all you fuckers left, right, there is no real left, but MSNBC, all you shitheads need to look at your goddamn selves. Look at yourselves in the mirror and ask how you contributed to this situation. Because you did. You contributed heavily. But we'll go ahead and just end this episode here. I wanted to talk about it, speak about it a bit. It's something that never should have happened. But, yeah. The situation's been allowed to go into this dark territory, all for money and ratings. But, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.